Hello everyone, my name is Dion Schuddeboom, and today I am super excited to be sharing with you my unboxing as well as my first impressions of my new 14-inch M1 Pro MacBook Pro. As soon as these new MacBook Pros were announced, I immediately knew that this would be a worthy upgrade to my 2016 15-inch MacBook Pro with Touch Bar. I chose to get the 14-inch M1 Pro MacBook Pro in silver, switching from space gray, and also upgraded the SSD to 1 terabyte. Let's go ahead and take off the plastic using this pull tab. This is going to be my new main computer from which I do all of my work, including editing all of the YouTube videos for this channel. Be sure to subscribe, by the way, if you haven't already. I have a lot more MacBook Pro and tech content coming very soon. Here we go. We can now slowly lift the box open. This is definitely quite a substantial box and thicker compared to previous years. And there it is, wrapped in this paper cover. The silver color looks so good already. So first impressions, it definitely has some heft for its size. It feels very solid and also cold to the touch. This was literally delivered only minutes ago. Before we take a closer look, let's put the MacBook off to the side and see what else is included. Here we see the all too familiar designed by Apple in California, or as a wise YouTuber once said, designed by California in Apple. Inside this paper booklet, we have a quick start guide. Interestingly, this shows the larger 16-inch model. Not sure why. We also have the usual warranty information, and now for what matters most, we get the black Apple stickers. I have no idea what I'll be doing with them, but like with any Apple unboxing, I somehow feel the need to keep them, especially these, as these are black. They actually look quite cool. Next, we have the USB-C power adapter, also wrapped in paper. It is good to see lots of paper and minimal plastic being used. This is the 67-watt version that comes with the M1 Pro spec. The M1 Max spec gets the larger 96-watt version. Personally, I do not need fast charging on my Mac and actually prefer a smaller and lighter power adapter. To match, I of course have the UK outlet as I am based in London. Alright, now this is really cool. Not only is this a braided cable, which should be more durable, Apple has also brought back MagSafe. Now what this means is if you, someone, or your pets for example, were to tug on the cable, it should disconnect without bringing the whole computer with it. Over the years, MagSafe on my older Macs has definitely come in useful, so I'm glad to see it brought back. The cable is around 2 meters in length, which should be just about 6.5 feet. Okay, now let's get to the best part. It is time to unwrap the Mac. Again, we have this nice paper wrapping, and here it is. Wow, the color looks really good. Already, I love this sharp, more flat look. I also like the bigger Apple logo. I never thought it was too small before, but seeing it here, this looks to be more proportionate. Flipping the Mac over, you can see just how cold it is from my fingerprints. We have this debossed MacBook Pro branding. So instead of printing the name, Apple have actually used the aluminum body of the Mac to do this, and this looks really classy. We also have 4 rubber feet to allow for ventilation. Looking around the MacBook Pro, we see more of its sharper design. To me, this falls much more in line with Apple's current design language, looking at their iPads, iPhones, iMacs, or the Pro Display XDR. Now onto one of the features I already know I'm going to love about this Mac, and that are the ports. In a sense, Apple took a step backwards from their USB-C only design that we had for several years, but by bringing back these ports, they also brought back more functionality, and in that sense took 2 steps forward. I'm especially happy to see the SD card slot. Now this is something that I use every day to make my videos. HDMI is great too, if say you quickly need to hook up to a projector and don't have to worry about bringing a dongle. Of course, we do still have 3 USB-C ports in total, as well as the MagSafe port, and thankfully there's a headphone jack, for now. Alright, I cannot wait any longer, let's open up the MacBook. Opening up the lid, it feels so smooth and effortless, as I would expect from any Mac. Right away, it wakes up and I'll remove the protective screen cover, and the first thing that stands out is this new keyboard design, now featuring a matte black inlay. Now this sets itself apart from the older models, and I especially like the contrast that it creates with the silver aluminum. This is actually one of the reasons I chose to go for the silver color. And here we go, we get hello on the screen. Also new this year is we no longer have the touch bar. Apple have kept the best part of the touch bar, which is not the touch bar itself, but rather the Touch ID sensor on the right side. Jokes aside, there were some cases where having the touch bar was useful, but at the end of the day, I do prefer having reliable physical keys that you can find and press without looking down at your keyboard to instantly change core functions like volume and brightness. Looking at the display here, you can see we have these super thin bezels with rounded corners on the top. On the top is also where we find the notch. Now, some people don't like this. Myself, I don't really mind it. On my iPhone, it does not bother me, and on the Mac, it takes up far less screen real estate. And crucially, it allows for more vertical screen space, which I very much welcome. On the topic of displays, these new MacBook Pros have a 120Hz refresh rate, meaning that any animations and movements on the screen will be super smooth. I can already tell a difference just during the setup process. And in my experience with high refresh rate displays, once you get used to them, you can't go back. I am very excited to start using my new M1 MacBook Pro and really to start pushing it to its limits in terms of video editing as well as photo editing, etc. Be sure to like if you've enjoyed this video and subscribe to see more of my M1 Pro MacBook Pro related content that I have coming up, including a review as well as some comparison videos. In the meantime, if you are looking for some great accessories to add to your MacBook Pro, be sure to check out my Logitech MX Master 3 review as well as my Logitech MX Keys mini review. I will leave both of those videos linked on the screen right now. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and take care.